Hello and welcome to Ultima Gaming. I'm Hunter again, and as always joined by my beautiful co-host, Mr. Jesse Lowe.
Thank you, good man.
Jesse, you know how they always say all good things must come to an end?
Yes.
Well, unfortunately that happened this week with the Destiny beta. It has come and gone. We're going to share a special beta review with you right off the bat. Afterwards, we have a special guest doing a very special interview.
Wondering who that is.
You'll find out later in the program. And then finally, we're going to share our thoughts on The Last of Us Remastered. Is it better than the PS3 version, or are you simply wasting your money? Find out in our review. This is Ultima Gaming Live. Hello everyone and welcome to the show. Jesse, earlier this week I had the privilege and honor of trying out the Destiny beta. It was available on all platforms including PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One. If you have any of those consoles and you didn't play the beta, you missed out on a very big opportunity to try a really awesome game. So while the full game hasn't been released yet, we decided to do a beta review, share our thoughts on the beta and what we think and what we anticipate the game will be like.
Yeah.
Here's our review.
Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian. It worked. You're alive.
If you enjoy the alien killing stylings of Halo, or the first-person shooter RPG elements of Borderlands, then Destiny will welcome you with open arms. While the full game isn't set to release until September, Bungie was nice enough to allow everyone the chance to enjoy a beta build. However, with the Destiny beta ending earlier this week, it's time to take a look at the pros and the cons that we hope are eliminated by the time of the game's full release.
We need to move fast.
Destiny may have an atmosphere similar to Halo. After all, it was created by the same developer, Bungie, but the game plays in its very own unique way. On the surface, Destiny looks like a simple game of run around and kill the aliens. However, at its core, Destiny has much more to offer. The game acts as a massive multiplayer online experience during missions, where you will be aided randomly by other players who are online at the same time. During the beta, my experience never involved voice chat, but rather using the directional buttons for simple ways of communication, which included waving, pointing, sitting down, and of course, dancing. What makes Destiny's gameplay so interesting is the amount of weapons and ammo which you can equip to make your character even stronger. Players can hold a main assault weapon, a side weapon, and a heavy weapon all at the same time. There's also a massive inventory available, so players can try out different guns they collect and choose what suits them best at any time. As you go through the game, you will level up your character, making them stronger, unlocking new abilities, and allowing for new weapons to be equipped. Destiny also features 3 different classes. Players can choose between Warlock, Hunters, and Titans. While players have slightly different abilities with each class, we didn't notice a big enough difference to justify choosing one over another, so it doesn't make picking a class that difficult. Speaking of difficult, it's easy for a player to wander into an area they aren't ready for. Even once we maxed out our player stat at level 8, enemies still took a good number of hits before they would finally go down. One playthrough of the game took about 3 of us over half an hour to deal with a single tank. While fighting tough enemies isn't a huge problem, it becomes an issue for players who like to explore. Destiny is a massive world with plenty to look for. However, one wrong turn and you'll find yourself completely overwhelmed by enemies much stronger than you. The multiplayer experience was fun, but takes some time getting used to. Players will go in with a Halo mentality only to find out that Guardians don't move and act like Spartans. Guardians move slower and don't jump nearly as high. It almost feels like you're playing Call of Duty, but in a map that was designed for Halo. However, there's still plenty of vehicles and weapons to choose from, as well as a variety of modes that give the multiplayer some variety. Overall, Destiny shows promise. It's not fair at this point to give the game a rating, of course, since we only had a little over a week to enjoy the beta. With its Halo meets Borderlands style gameplay and massive customization options with armor and weapons, Destiny looks to be a game that will satisfy any first-person shooter fan, and we can't wait to see what the future holds. We give Destiny's beta 4.5
I can make it work.
out of 5. Earlier this week, Thomas had the opportunity to sit down with a very special guest that we mentioned at the start of the show. That guest was none other than President and COO of Nintendo of America, Reggie Fils-Aimé.
That's right.
So I heard you did a little interview with him.
I did.
Let's check it out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest with us today. He is a legend to the world. You might know him as the president of Nintendo of the world, Mr. Reggie Fils-Aimé. Can I just call you Reggie?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Reggie, president of Nintendo World, right?
Yes, Nintendo World.
It is an honor to meet you, sir.
It's good to be here.
It's an honor. All right. All right. So, let's get straight into the questions. You know, no fooling around, no
My
foreplay.
body's ready.
Your body's ready. His body is ready, ladies and gentlemen. Question 1. How did you make Nintendo?
I didn't make Nintendo. They put me in charge of it because of my ideas, like this one I have right now, the Wii 3. You know how people like the 3DS?
Absolutely.
I made the Wii 3.
Wii 3. Is that an exclusive? You're announcing that exclusively here?
Exclusively here, yes.
Exclusively here. You heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. Wii 3.
Okay.
What can the Wii 3 do?
What the Wii 3 do? Make toast.
Can you show us this toast?
I ate it already.
He already ate the toast. That man's a legend. All right. Question number 2. With Iwata dying, how are you going to take over all of Nintendo World?
He's not dying.
What do you mean he's not dying?
He's fine. He's not dying.
No, you missed E3 though. He's clearly dying.
No, he's fine.
No, he's dead.
Where'd you get that information from?
It doesn't matter where I got it from. Anyways, question number 3. Based upon the average income, what are your Nintendo employees making a fiscal year?
Well, thanks to no child labor laws in Japan, like our employees are making good $50 a year, and that's before taxes.
Very smart. Nintendo is very smart. Very smart. What about New Star Fox?
New Star Fox, we're releasing that when we come out with another Battletoads.
Another Battletoads. All right. So what are your thoughts on Mother?
Well, I haven't met your mother, but based on how you look, I think she turned out pretty well.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Anyway, we're not talking about my mother, though. We're talking about the game series, Mother. When is Mother going to get its release in America? Mother 1, Mother 2, Mother 3, all together.
They say that's going to be an exclusive. We're going to be releasing that exclusively with Half-Life 3 on the Wii 3.
Exclusively. Exclusive.
Exclusively.
Exclusively on the Wii 3 with Half-Life 3. Half-Life 3 confirmed. Is that correct?
Half-Life 3 is
You
confirmed.
worked with Mr. Gavin?
Yes, I did.
You are a god amongst gods.
That's what I've been told.
All right, well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. That wraps up our interview, Mr. Reggie. It is an honor.
It was good being here.
All right. All right. You can let go of my hand anytime,
You
Mr.
can let
President.
go. You can let go whenever.
You can let go of my hand
I'm going to let
whenever.
go till you let go.
Not till you let go.
Not till you let go.
All right, Mr. President. Mr. President, Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Welcome back to the show, guys. Apparently that review or interview that Thomas just did, I don't think that was Reggie, bro.
I had just a slight feeling that was off. I could be wrong, but
I don't know.
Reggie didn't look like himself.
Reggie looked like he lost some weight.
I don't know.
That wasn't
but-
Reggie. I'm pretty sure that was Reggie.
No, dude.
I don't think that was Reggie.
It was Reggie,
You
bro.
sure that was Reggie?
I'm pretty sure.
I mean,
He said he was Reggie. He had the card.
He had the card.
He had the card?
Yeah.
Who knows,
Then it must
bro?
be true.
Who knows?
All right. Coming up next on the show, keep watching and we will have a very special review of The Last of Us Remastered. Stick around. Earlier this week, Naughty Dog released The Last of Us Remastered for the PlayStation 4. The question is it worth buying if you already own the PlayStation 3 edition? Find out in our review.
Here, this make you all nostalgic?
You know, that is actually before my time. That is a winner, though.
The Last of Us defined gaming for 2013. Winning numerous awards and claiming the title Game of the Year by multiple sources, The Last of Us became an instant must-have title for all PlayStation 3 owners. Fast forward a little over a year since the game released, and Naughty Dog has graced us with an HD remaster for the PlayStation 4. The important question is this: is the remastered edition worth your time if you already own the PS3 version, which by many has become an instant classic? Keep in mind that this review is only looking at the remastered edition. While we may compare some differences between the original and remastered versions, our final score will only reflect the newly remastered version for PlayStation 4. What makes The Last of Us so compelling is its story. Unlike most games that involve simply blasting away and shooting as many things as possible, The Last of Us chooses to take the road less traveled, and captivates its audience with a strong and powerful story. Relax, this is a spoiler-free review. The game focuses on two main characters, Joel and Ellie, as they travel great distances in hope of finding a cure against a dreaded spore that has caused a massive hysteria, changing normal people into infected mutants and killing many others. Joel and Ellie share a very special bond and chemistry unlike any other duo in video games. The tragedy brings them very close together, and their relationship continues to grow only as the game progresses. Since we don't want to spoil anything, I won't go into any further detail, but the story alone makes this game fantastic. Gameplay for The Last of Us is a mix between shooter and stealth. When you aren't blasting away at the infected, Joel and Ellie must sneak past enemies so they aren't alerted and caught off guard. When fighting enemies, you have to think strategically. Face them all head on, and you're bound to end up dead. The game offers a variety of ways for dealing with enemies, including melee, using a gun, and also using items such as a brick or glass bottle for either stunning enemies or throwing it elsewhere as a distraction, so you can either sneak up and attack, or quietly bypass confrontation altogether. The Last of Us constantly keeps you on your toes and forces you to think quickly in stressful situations. Players can also collect various items on their journey that will allow them to craft certain items such as a shiv to fend off enemies, or mix items together and form first aid supplies. Crafting happens in real time, so items can be made in the heat of battle if the opportunity presents itself, allowing for even more excitement during a stressful situation. All in all, The Last of Us Remastered is simply a masterpiece among its kind. The Remastered Edition presents us the game in stunning 1080p resolution and adds in newer advanced audio options, in-cinematic director commentary, and in-game photo mode, as well as bonus DLC for both single-player and multiplayer. While the game looked beautiful on PS3, we can proudly say it looks even better on the PlayStation 4. If you truly loved the game the first time around, you should honestly do yourself a favor and pick it up for round 2. If you've never played The Last of Us and you own a PS4, the only question remaining is, what are you waiting for? The Last of Us Remastered gets 5 stars out of 5.
Welcome back to the show, guys.
That's it. That's our first show. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is going to be a weekly show here on Twitch TV and on YouTube for those of you watching the recorded episode. Thank you guys so much again. We hope to see you again real soon.
Peace.